Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's album review, which we will see us review a wonderful, potentially wonderful album, or not, called Bossaura by Kollegah, who's a German rapper. This is the last review of this series. Next week, we will bring to you our ranking video of the whole series. But anyway, as for this album itself, I was the one that chose it, so I will tell you what I thought of it. So I think initially I was quite happy with the choice. I am quite partial to a bit of German rap. Don't know German rap very well, but the German rap that I do know, always kind of quite liked in a way. So I think for me, what I've got here in terms of notes, a lot of drug talk, drug rap, whatever. A mix of singing and rapping. And I think the key word for me here, intense. I just found the whole album very intense, quite really coming at you, sort of very loud. That's not the right word, loud, but just very intense rap kind of thing. And I liked it at the beginning. I thought, okay, you know what, I really like this. But I have to say, it did drag on a little bit too much for me here. I think it was too intense, to be honest. It was really just kind of like annoying me, probably towards the second half of the album. And it was a little bit too much for me in the end. And I have to say, I was happy when the album finished. So it's a bit of a weird one for me, this. Kind of like the style. I like the kind of mix of the singing and the rapping together. But saying that, maybe it was just because I was listening to it last night. Maybe I wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. But it just was a little bit too much for me in the end. Another thing I'd say as well, because it's German rap, it's like almost can't really take it seriously. It's like they're rapping about this drug stuff, but it almost kind of sounds a bit cheesy in a way, but I don't know whether it really is. I don't really understand exactly what they're saying. I mean, there's lots of words they use that you do understand, like they suddenly randomly say some stuff in English or something. And yeah, it was a peculiar one. Still not really too sure what I think of this. I would like to listen to it again, maybe when I'm in a different kind of mind frame or something. I don't know. It's okay. Bro, over to you.
Yeah, so you sort of echoed a lot of the sort of points I was going to make there. It definitely has potential as a sort of rap album. But one of the notes I didn't make was it is strange in the language, like where it does time it feel like it could be a parody, it could be like a comedy or someone taking the mick out of rap stuff. I quite liked, a little bit of English in there as well, kind of kept it intriguing for me there. Yeah, lots of reference to drugs. It was funny, I was looking at the album cover again, and the fact that it looks what's meant to look like, I'm presuming, is meant to be coke, but also done in the shape of a marijuana leaf as well. So yeah, very, very drug heavy. If anyone's listening to this and they want a new drinking game as well, every time you hear the word bitch or bitches, have a drink, and I'm sure by the end of it you'll be very wasted with that there. So what I did like, there was some differentials from it. There was, as you said, some rapping, and there was also singing. A couple of different artists in there to mix it up a little bit. But the downside was, yeah, it was a very long album, and even though there were different tracks, there was a lot of tracks which could have been the same. And I kind of felt maybe just had one of those tracks in place of a few others, made the album a bit shorter, then possibly could have been a bit better. But yeah, towards the end, it was almost because it at times did feel quite intense, even though you couldn't understand what was being sung because there's a little bit of English, and because you got the feeling from the album itself, you kind of could feel what they were singing about. So it was quite intense. But I said there was a few bits I did like from it, a couple of songs which I did enjoy. Whether I put them on my actual download list, I don't know. I said there are a lot of songs, so we'll probably explain a bit more as we go through the album itself. But Yeah, not sure where I stand with it.
Okay. So yeah, the first one was for Imma, which is the intro. Um, didn't sound like a typical introduction for me. Just got like a normal length rap track. To be honest, not great.
Yes, this first introduction of the word bitches being mentioned a few times. Just sounded like a very typical rap song. I feel like there's a sort of bit of English in there as well. Not bad, but yeah, strange to call it sort of like an intro song when it was as good as being a normal song.
Yeah. Next one was drugs in den jeans, which I guess means drugs in the jeans or something. Drugs in the jeans, yeah. And not only in this song, but we did actually end up hearing these words, drugs in den jeans, in quite a few other tracks as well. I don't know if you noticed that.
I think I definitely picked up on one other. I'm sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, this was about drugs, a kilo of coke. I thought the lyrics were a little bit naughty, but the song itself was actually all right in a strange sort of way, and some really impressive, super fast rap in there as well.
Yeah, again, same sort of I've got there. Really impressed with sort of the fast rapping. You can obviously tell he is a good rapper. I'm not going to take that away from him. You can even without understanding exactly what he's saying, you can definitely do that. And yeah, it was the right song, but you can tell obviously it was definitely a lot of drugs going. Oh, that's another word as well. Boss. Boss seems to come up quite a few times, and I think I found out that boss can be the same in German as well. Um, but yeah, an okay song, but it is early days as well, Vin. But very drug heavy.
Spotlight. So an unexpected start by a woman. The chorus was sung by a woman. I was sort of bopping my head to this one. You know, that's always a good sign when you're bopping your head. You're sort of getting into it. And I thought it was quite a good song. This one, quite liked it.
Yeah, I like this one as well. This is one of the ones I would consider putting on a download list. Like the female singing, nice mixture between the two of them there. Again, tiny bit of English involved with there as well, so you can get more of a feeling understanding with it as well. Um, yeah, just a nice song for the album.
Yeah. Probably thinking about it now, probably is one of my favorite songs on the album. Again, would I download it, put it on my playlist? Not sure yet. Um, Next up, we had Jet Lag. So this one went straight into rap, had some kind of strange alien style voice. Didn't like this one as much.
Yeah, actually, I think again, this is getting real evidence on how good probably his rapping is, and it'd be interesting, if obviously we're not, rap's not our main favorite thing. It'd be interesting, someone who's really into rap, what they think of this and his rapping style. Because for me, as an outsider, like I said, without actually knowing what he's saying, I could really tell you obviously can. It's almost like I could understand a bit more on his in a different language than I did like with Danny Brown's. So it felt like he was um, quite good rapping, but that's the sort of that I could take from that particular song.
Yeah, it's a good point you made there actually about Danny Brown. Yeah, I think I agree with you there. The next one was Business Paris. This was a really interesting one. I suddenly started hearing French, and I realized this was like he was doing the song with a French rapper who I read up about afterwards. So it was a really weird combination of French and German. Again, we heard the word drugs in then jeans. Just thought it was an interesting mix of German and French, and just found that quite interesting. It was all right.
Yeah, I found both of the artists. I didn't realize it was French, but I did pick up. It sounded like there was different languages being spoken, and I thought that might be the case because there's already been English already. But yeah, I thought they actually complement each other quite well. I think they rapped pretty right together. It definitely felt a bit darker now. So, what I've said before, there's been ones that felt quite parody. This one, I felt, oh, it's actually, yeah, it sounds a bit more real life rap, a bit darker, even though you can really tell exactly fully what they were singing. But I thought they were right actually together.
Okay. The next one, I think it's called Mond Finsternis. Fast rap again, something that he does a fair bit. They got sort of very fast rap and was quite continuous. So it's just lots and lots of just rapping going on. Maybe I think with this one, probably less singing as such, just more rapping.
Yeah, I think not more I can say. Fast rapping, very impressive. However, I did look up the translation of the title, and again, I don't know if it's exactly right, but apparently translates as lunar eclipse, which for a rap album seems one of the most strangest titles of a song you would really have. It obviously must mean something else in probably drug land or something, I don't know. But I like to now think, if I was listening back to this when he's doing the rapping, he's now talking about the moon and how it has an effect on the planet, from the sun and stuff. But yeah.
Or probably when you're on drugs, probably does
Yeah,
feel like.
yeah, there you go.
Next up, we had Billionaires Club. I quite like this one. I was quite feeling it. I like the man. Had a nice little part involved. He was a man who had a sort of small singing part, perhaps, involved in it. The words Bruce Willis came up and jotted that down. Yeah, not a bad one, that.
Yeah, it's almost like, for me, I've been hit almost like carry on from the previous song, almost like carries on. And then yeah, the guy who's singing, San Diego, I think he appears in a few other songs as well. Yeah, he comes on, he's all right, does a lot of swearing. He comes on and really wants to get those swears in this song. It's almost like he's making his mark on the album on this track to sort of stand out. But yeah, just carries off another one. Not much more to say from that.
Okay, then we had Bad Girl. I just put not as keen on this one. Didn't have really much to say about it.
Yeah, so this one felt like really early noughties rap to me. Obviously, I'm always keen, when there's other musical instruments, orchestra, like violin stuff for the start, which was an unusual start. Not bad, all right. It's just some different bits I sort of enjoyed from there. I'd just be interested to know what they were singing about, mainly in that one. Get the feeling from the feeling again from the album, probably about hoes and strip clubs, probably. I don't know.
The next one was Cobra Cop. A few rappers involved in this one, but again, wasn't too keen. I think at this sort of stage, I'm starting to kind of go off it a little bit. The album just kind of like a little bit too much for me. Maybe I should listen to it more kind of in parts rather than kind of getting most of it done. Last night could have made a difference as well, especially when you're trying to like really review each song. But yeah, it was all right, but just yeah, not much more to say really.
So yeah, it felt like it's almost like he got the whole team, the whole gang all together to do a song. It was all right. I found it all very similar. What they were doing, apart from the ending, I think that was where it changes quite a bit. And again, I think if you want to get an idea of the album, like probably a song like this probably gives you a sum up. And I think at this point, this is where I refer back to other songs. It's probably going back to this one. There's a lot which are quite much like this: standard background music, standard rapping, bit intense in times, but just yeah, I think maybe if you're in the right mood doing the right thing, then you can probably appreciate it a bit more. But yeah, it's definitely not, I find it hard with stuff like this to sit back at home, relax, and listen to it, or even when we're doing like trying to review it song by song as well.
Yeah, then we had Flex, Sluts, Rock and Roll. So very hardcore start. It really sort of got going from the off, but it wasn't bad. Quite a lot going on, and it was definitely lively. I'd give it that.
Yeah, what a title, by the way. Again, unusual title in the rap album there. Yeah, again, some other bits that came up in English. Definitely not the worst on the album. It was likable and such. But yeah, that's what I really got on that one.
Okay, next one was IHDP. I'd like to know what your opinion would be on what this stands for. So I'll have a guess now off the top of my head. I heart drugs people. No, I don't know. It could be anything, but I'm pretty sure the D stands for drugs.
That's actually I would say these for drugs. I don't think I was thinking to my head. I have drugs, plenty.
Yeah, that probably make more sense. Yeah, not
But then
bad.
again, it could be a German
Yeah,
word in
could be,
which
could
words
be.
in
I think.
different but yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was not. It was all right. It wasn't bad. Again, a few different rappers involved. Not much more to say than that.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of the more sort of, there's a couple of where there's like slower style ones, and this is one of them. You've got a female singer slash rapper in there as well. We've got our friend San Diego, who does quite a bit in there as well. Yeah, again, I haven't got much more to say than that. It was all right. At least, at least the positive is, slightly different style of a song on there to at least mix it up.
Okay, the next one's Bossaura, which is the name of the album, isn't it? So, it's the name of the album, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one was a bit different. This one was definitely kind of less musicy and a lot more rappy. It was very hardcore for me. It's just pretty much non-stop rap with not much else going on.
Yeah. So a really nice, interesting start like that, and then yeah, as you say, rapping throughout, which again I have put very impressive, and obviously does show he is a talented, good rapper. Well, what I think, like I said, I don't know what other hardcore people would generally say with that. I made a little note saying what would Lee thinks. Obviously, it's the album title, and normally it puts a little bit of pressure on the album for you to like that one. And funny enough, there's actually, believe it or not, and I have no idea how long our video is going to go on for, but there's a video on YouTube which is an hour long of a couple of guys just analysing this song, translating the lyrics and going through exactly what he's singing all about there. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. I just saw it come up. I think my time's a bit more precious than going through just one song. I know we're doing quite long videos on the whole album, but on just one particular song.
Is it in German?
It would be interesting to find out exactly what he was rapping all that song about. But
Are they doing it
in the end?
Are they doing it in English or German?
But well, they're translating it into English, but they're talking
translating it.
into German. Yeah. Yeah. So maybe I'll send you a link. You can put it on there if anyone wants to be interested by that.
Maybe we can get in contact with them and say we're
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Next one was called Cocaine. Now I don't know why it's spelt in a funny way, like Kokayne, whether that's how you spell it in German. I'm guessing it's not. I don't know. But this was a song and a rap. Unlike the previous song, there was a proper song going on here. I just found it was a little bit too cocaine-y for me. So saying that word cocaine quite a bit, and get on my nerves a little bit. But the song itself was actually all right, to be fair.
Yeah, it's okay. Again, it almost felt like a carry on from the song before. Again, once we're here, yeah, again, but obviously this time with some of his friends. Again, I think San Diego's in this one as well. Just sort of carries on, and yeah, funny with the title Spain there as well. I did try to, I couldn't, it didn't come up as a translation with that, so I don't think it is. I think it's just playing words to be cocaine, really.
Next song was Do, so which is again another mixture of song and rap, as most of the songs were, to be fair, which I like. There were some songs on there which were just pure rap, but this was another sort of song and rap together. And again, have to note this down. Some impressive fast rapping going
on. Yeah, so again, at least positive. This one is a little bit different. This one, very slow rapping. So before he's done really super fast. This is other end of the spectrum, really slow style rapping. I did make a note who was singing with this one, but the person who was doing the singing part really enjoyed that bit. I think that was a lot better than the actual song itself. And I think there's a few more songs like that. I think we can imagine we probably both might enjoy that a bit more. But yeah, the other guy's bit was the bit I enjoyed most.
Then we had Undercover. So I didn't really like this one. A lot of voices, a lot of people, involved in it. But I just found it was a poor song, and at this stage I was a bit fed up of it, to be fair.
Yeah, I've got me as well. This game, it's hard because it is quite full on to them. the plus of this one, again, it was something a little different. I've put this one down as my favorite term to bring up every so often, the experimental song. This felt that could have been that one. And really, it kind of had a bit of a slightly more rock and roll feel to, rock and roll is really not the right term, but a rock electric feel to it. It wasn't as rap as like all the other ones. So it'd be more interesting if this was the actual Flex, Sluts and rock and roll song. So these were something a little bit different, but it was still, yeah, at this point, very hard going.
Then we had Money. So I just put down kind of these songs are dragging on now. So, you know, I think maybe if these songs come up earlier on, or I'd listened to one another day, then I might have had a kind of different feeling towards them. So we had a singy chorus. It was all right. Nothing more than that.
Same sort of things I've put there, really. I actually put down for this one a band I know you know, Lee, Flipside. Had a kind of flip side sort of to it there again, because I think it's that again that singing chorus bit and then rapping mixing there. I think if there's a few other songs like that, then it'd be great. But then there's a lot just the same. It was nice, but sorry, nice song in parts, but nothing much more to say than that really.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we had H and F. I've got one word here, just average.
Yeah. Again, I really like the start with this one here. It was like a Indian Persian style sort of voicing, which I thought at least a bit more sort of unusual for a rap album. So I did give him credit for that there. Otherwise, pretty much the same with a lot of the other songs. Yeah, James coming towards the end of the album.
Yeah, and the last track was Das Licht, which was the outro, because it did say in brackets outro. So I was hoping it was going to be without rap. I just had enough rap. I mean, his rapping was fine. I didn't mind it. It was just a bit too, what's the word? Like the word I used at the beginning, just a bit too hardcore, a bit too intense. And it started off quite nice, sort of nice background music. I thought, okay, it's going to be a nice kind of like soft finish. But then he started rapping. I mean, I think what he might have been saying, he may have been sort of saying thank you or saying goodbye to all the artists on the album, because I did hear him say San Diego. I'm not exactly sure what he's saying about San Diego, but it might be like a kind of farewell, you know, the album's over kind of thing. I'm not sure. And then I think towards the end, he did stop rapping, and we got to kind of enjoy the sort of relaxing background music a bit. But for me, if that song had just kind of not had any rapping in there, that would have been really nice.
Because normally you love the rapping bits and so on, but yeah, it gets too much there. I actually like this one. This is one I would also consider. Yeah, I can imagine that'd be a nice way to album if it was also like a goodbye ending of the album. Yeah, obviously the relaxing music more towards the end, obviously was the there. So I would have liked more of the female singing bits in that there as well. And I could have imagined this song, if it was in English, being in like sort of the UK charts. It had quite a sort of pop commercial more feel to it really. So it did have potential, but otherwise it was just a nice way to end the album.
Yeah, so there we go. That's the album review done. I think to sum up, I would say this is probably actually my style of music. I generally quite like a mixture of, you know, rap with that kind of poppy style, as you kind of said at the end there, that's the last song. So where you've got kind of singing going on, especially when there's like a female singer as well. I think that's a good combination. And yeah, parts of the album I did like. You know, I'm quite looking forward to listening to it again without kind of having to worry about focusing on each song. So yeah, for me it did drag on a little bit. Maybe I just wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. But yeah, it was okay in parts for sure. What about you?
Yeah, sort of the same sort of lines there. Okay in parts. Did enjoy in some ways. I think I enjoyed it more than I probably thought I would do if you told me, yeah, this is a hardcore rap album, but could have been. I think the interesting for me, as I said, I would really like to get the opinions of someone who's really into their rap music and see what they really think of this. Doesn't mean it makes it a good or a bad album. Just be really interested to see what their reaction or what they feel about that there. But I said the biggest downfall was that it is just a long album with too much of very similar, which I know if you like this and you're into that, then obviously, of course, you want that in there. They almost could have been, there's enough there to be almost like 2 albums, really. And apparently, I think I read on Wikipedia, he had a back catalogue of like maybe 30, 40 songs or something, and these are ones he wants to put on an album. So it'd be really interesting what some of those other ones that he didn't put on there. But I think he probably would enough to make that into maybe 2 separate albums, really.
Yeah, it's interesting that like when you kind of think about albums, you kind of think it's a good thing they're putting more songs on, you're getting more sort of value for money if you paid for it. But I think it can also be a negative thing as well. It can also almost be too much.
Yeah, it's a hard one. So obviously, if you like it, you want to buy and listen. Of course, you want to get more on it there. But I suppose you also want to get new fans as well. So I don't know. Yeah, work both ways, I guess. That was the thing that really I think went against it quite a bit.
So yeah, there we go. That's the end of the album review. That's the end of the series. So join us next week where we will do a full ranking video rating our video of the albums from this particular series, the previous 10 that we've done, and put them into, our order from 1 to 10, what we thought was the best album through to which we thought was the worst. So join us for that. We look forward to seeing you next week. I think that's it. So see you guys. Bye.